What's up, guys? Welcome back to another market analysis. Okay, this market analysis is not going to be live, guys. I'm going to record this one. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to talk about what's going on, talk about what I'm looking at for the week. I'm already in a trade that I sent out yesterday. We're just going to talk about it here. GCAD, right? Sent it out in the Discord yesterday. It activated today. So I'm going to be holding that. It's going to be a long position, right? This is going to be an intraday trade. So for my scalpers out there, if you can find something within here, if we do bounce around, if we do stay here, so let's say we come back and we actually do something in here, if you want a better entry or something with a smaller stop loss, look for that, or look for any continuation moves higher. Look to see how you can get yourself in there. But simply put, we took this trade off of this manipulation right here. We took out these lows and we see that impulse to the upside, right? This is holding order flow, so this is why we took that trade right there. Okay, now something else that I want to talk about before we get into this is, let's look at the news for this week. We see this week here we had a lot of flash services this morning, okay, from the euro, from the pound, and from the USD, which really didn't do too much this morning now that we look back at it. And we'll go over the charts. It's already Monday. Monday's mostly already done. It's 12 p.m. my time. We have 2 hours till New York session closes. I don't think anything major is going to happen. It's a Monday, right? So nothing crazy. So Tuesday, we see here, we have the Aussie. We have CPI for the Aussie, and then we also have CPI for the pound this week as well. So for those of you that's trading these pairs, which I trade some Aussie pairs and some pound pairs too, so this is going to be something I'll pay attention to as the week goes on. Most likely going to be asleep during this pound news, but during this Aussie news, I'll be up. That's late evening my time. And then we also have unemployment claims on Thursday, and then we have core PCE on Friday and retail sales. This core PCE and GDP will create some movement, so that is something we will focus on as well. So major news for this week that I would say we focus on is, of course, the CPI news and unemployment claims, GDP news, and the PCE. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, yeah, the rest of the week, guys, we're gonna have news. So something for us to pay attention to. These are gonna be the specific pairs that we want to watch. Now, moving on to the charts. Let's go to DXY and let's talk about what's going on. What do we see here, guys? So we was talking about this. We're talking about this. We're looking on a daily time frame. We're talking about these daily candles getting weaker. These daily bearish candles getting weaker, as you can see, as the market was coming down. We see the wick start forming. We had a rejection wick here, another rejection wick, and then we had a doji. And we had a manipulation of these lows. Market gives us a nice reaction. We get another slight manipulation here, and the market is giving us another reaction. As I told you guys, I was expecting a pullback here on DXY to at least come and fill some imbalance. Now, this is not enough for me to say that this market is going to just start exploding towards the upside, right? I think we need some more bullish impulse. I think we need to actually see some momentum. The reason why we can identify momentum is not here yet, guys, is as you see these sells towards the downside, you're looking at these bearish candles. Look what we have inside of these bearish candles. We have imbalances. We have large daily imbalances impulsively moving this market lower. Okay, so we can clearly say that we had violent sellers here. Right now, on the opposite end, do we see any daily imbalances yet? No, we don't see any daily imbalances. We see this market is pretty much filling most of the gaps on the daily time frame. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Let's see if we see any gaps here. We see this imbalance here that also got tapped into right here, right? The market tapped into that imbalance there. So we're not seeing as much aggression on this daily pullback than we saw in the bearish. So that's how we know that this is not something that's probably going to last forever. We are most likely just giving this retracement back to fill up most of this imbalance, and then we'll probably start seeing another distribution that takes us back lower if we don't start seeing that momentum. Okay, that's going to be pretty much it. So I'm going to expect the SY to pull back for the rest of this week to fill up this imbalance over here, guys. So what that means for EU, we're going to be looking for sales on EU. I've already kind of gave you guys a heads up on that. Now, this is what I'm going to be looking for EU here. I have a limit order off of this area, and simply put, let's zoom out to the higher time frame. Simply put, guys, we're in a bearish leg, right? We tapped into the 71. Let me fix this. Yep, we tapped into the 71 right there. So we are in premium pricing, and we have a change of character, so we can look for selling opportunities. So now we're just waiting for those selling opportunities. So what do we see? We see that we had a manipulation here of these Asian highs. Market moves lower. Now, this is not something that I wanted to take a limit order off of opening the week. We got to be wary of that. We got to be wary of any gaps or anything like that that could potentially happen and that could potentially affect us. So now, what do we see today? Okay, we see another impulsive move. So we see the same thing here. We see a manipulation of these highs, we push lower. Today we see a manipulation of these highs, we see a push lower. Okay, now we actually pulled back a little bit into this already. We left this high right here, and I'm just going to use that as inducement. So this is still going to be an area that I'm looking for sales out of, just out of this last manipulation here. This is a type 2 distribution, not the cleanest, but it is there. So what I'd be looking for here is for the market to make its way back. I really don't care if we continue going lower, if we go a little bit lower down here, but as long as we make our way back here, this is going to be where I'm taking our entry. Now, the only way that I will take another entry here is if we create another move. So let's say we create an accumulation and then we go lower, something like that, or just maybe tomorrow we create another manipulation move here. Let's say we range, we manipulate the highs, and we continue doing that same trend towards the downside as we see here where we'll manipulate Asian highs. Then yes, I will take that sell. But for now, this is going to be the area that I'm going to look for that sell. And I'm just going to take a limit order there, and we're just going to wait for the market to pull back into that. And simply put, what we're targeting here is just all of this imbalance. Okay, we can see the market left over lots of imbalance on the higher time frame that we can come back and fill. So this is what I want to see. Okay, nice imbalance that we could target. So that's simply it for EU. Let's keep moving on. Let's go to GU real quick. So GU has not confirmed the trade for me yet, but I do like all of this manipulation that we have here. I like the fact that we were able to take out these session highs. We took out Asian highs. We took out New York highs from Friday as well. Okay, we have a nice push towards the upside. We already have our change of character. We can see we're having a rounded top here, which is looking like a nice higher time frame distribution. So we see that this market is also giving us that nice potential distribution of sellers. And then we also know that we have imbalance here on the higher time frames. Go to the daily. See, we have nice imbalance on the daily time frame that we can also come and target. Today, this will close as a nice wick as well. If I do see that close here today, if we see that bearish wick close out like that, that'll be a nice entry. So as this market goes lower, once we confirm that, I'm gonna look for where to place this entry at. And this might be a large entry, guys, just by the looks of it, because we kind of pushed a little higher. But let's see what we have. I'm pretty sure I know U5 took something here. We have a nice distribution. This is very nice on the lower time frame. Earlier this morning, above these highs. And honestly, I can see this being the start of that manipulation. Put that right here. 1, 2. Do that. Let's go on the higher time frame. Let's see where else this market could come into. That looks like to be the the 4-hour candle right there. Looks like to be the safest high probably entry right there off the 4-hour candle. Oh, target probably a 1 to 3 there. Boom. That'll get us right into an imbalance. We see that we have also this candle here, so we feel imbalance, and we will tap into that candle right there, which I believe this is just a reaccumulation on lower time frame. All right, once we break this low, that will be that main trade that I would be looking for here. Now, this market could also just trade into the open and the manipulation, which is something that I'm kind of want to be wary of. This is about 35 pip stop, which is already large, but honestly, if we try to take this as well, I think this is about to be like a 50 pip stop. I just want to see if it's even worth that trade. Is this even worth that trade? Draw the fibs. Okay, even the fibs of the 50% is still higher than that area. Okay, I might trust the fibs here. I think I go with the fibs on this one. Still a large stop loss, but it's 104 target. That'll be a 1 to 2. This is gonna be a lot lower. 230 target. Let's see. Higher time frame. Let's see if this is even worth it. Okay, this will be the fill of the imbalance though. This will be the fill of daily imbalance. Not bad. It's not bad at all. Even though both of these entries could potentially hit, we do have news this week as well. Trying to see what's the highest probability here. Okay, if I was to choose one, guys, honestly, I would go with the 50% of the whole area, but I will keep that there. 50% of whole fib, and then we're gonna keep this as 4-hour candle, and I'll keep both of them there. This is gonna require 30 more pips for that full TP. And this is an 8 pip difference. So the way that I think about this, guys, is if I'm willing to miss this trade by 8 pips, right? That's how I want to think about it. Am I willing to miss this trade by 8 pips? See, I don't think I am. So if I'm being honest, well, is that the 50%? No, this is the 50%. Okay, yeah, that's the 50% of the whole fibs. And this is just the open of the manipulation. I think the open of the manipulation is honestly going to be the worst optimal trade here. This most definitely will activate, but you're taking up like 52 pip stop loss, which this is gonna take you a lot farther. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the 50%. We'll see how the market's moving if I change it, but one of these two areas here, you could choose which one you want to take. Once we break this low here, I'm gonna take that 50% of this whole area. I don't have a clear candle. I do have a clear candle, which is the 4-hour, but it's only it's only an 8 pip difference. I'll deal with it. It's only an 8 pip difference. I'll deal with it. Right. So yeah, that'll be a trade once we confirm and we break this low. If we don't break this low, no trade. That's why I have this alert here. Put confirmed trade here. And we will put that like that. There we go. All right, let's move on to AU. So AU is still in a bullish structure for me on the daily time frame. So we can see that this is our main manipulation here by that wick. Like I said, guys, I can see us still come and take out these daily lows right here. As you can see, we're building nice liquidity. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. See, we're building nice liquidity. So I can honestly see a manipulation of these lows. And to be honest, I just want to start seeing an accumulation start building. I just want to start seeing buyers get into this market. I feel like we haven't seen that momentum here yet. And with DXY potentially pulling back, we could see lower prices back down underneath this liquidity. Maybe we will accumulate there. If not, and we continue lower, I could see us come down into the 70 and the 80, which is that sweet spot right here, and we can start looking for potential buying opportunities there as well. That would be a nice discount for us to buy AU. UCAD, nothing here. I am not going to be looking for anything on UCAD. I'm sorry for you guys that trade UCAD, but UCAD is not the cleanest market to me right now. I am sorry, guys. So let's move on to USD Chef. And main thing that I like about USD Chef is that the fact that we're still maintaining this reaccumulation right here. So as you can see, that large reaccumulation that gave us that push, we're still maintaining that. And what we have so far, we've seen that after we form this accumulation here inside of that demand zone, we had this kind of just price action up, right? Price action to the upside, create a change of character. We had some selling opportunities. The market went ahead again and just broke that change of character again, right? We switched again. So what I'm going to be doing here is, you can kind of see what I'm already looking at. We have a nice manipulation here. Today we have another manipulation. None of this is really confirmed until we take out this main high. So honestly, I think it's more safer to say I would probably wait for this main high to be taken out before being aggressive in this area or looking for anything in this area. This is going to be a large stop loss, I think, as well, unless we just do the 50%, which is what most likely I'm going to do. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Daily, trade into this candle here. That's Friday's manipulation. Gave us a push higher. That's today. We have 1, 2, 3 candles that cover 1, 2, 3 candles as well. Okay. So we have equal momentum. This is a nice push. I wish we would have left imbalance there. Yeah, we filled up all of that imbalance. I don't blame the market. It's a nice wick. Okay, so let's see if we can make this a nice target here. Have a nice manipulation. All of these lows here. We see that manipulation. We see this manipulation here. Like I said, unfortunately, we filled imbalance, but still see that impulse on the 4 hour time frame. Let's go to 2 hours, see if we can find a. Okay, this is better. This is nice. It's a better imbalance that we could potentially target. I want to see if it's worth taking a 50% entry here. If we don't have imbalance, it's not really worth it. Yeah, see. Yep, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the best entry off of the 4 hour. Better entry would have been off the 50% somewhere over here if we would have held this area. But with this wick and with this candle right here, I don't think we really go deep into this. But the market could do whatever it wants. We'll see. But safest entry would be there. That'd just be something we would have to just hold off the 4 hour. And that is okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we confirm this break. It's 5 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna wait for this market to actually break this a little bit more. See if we can come up here a little bit more, and then I will take this trade right here, guys. Then we're getting a pullback here on these other chairs as well. Let's see, it's not a bad stop loss. It's only 30 pip stop. Let's see, we do have imbalance, clear imbalance here to take, and then we'll just target that 1 to 3 up there. It's gonna be like 91 pips there. Let me see the difference. Let's see the difference here. I know it's gonna be a big difference. 10 pips. 10 pips. See what the, so it's gonna be a 20 pip stop at the 50. I know the target's gonna be a lot easier. Right to the imbalance, right? Now I'm gonna keep both these here too, because I want to see. I just want to forward test this and see what happens. 4 hour candle. I'll forward test these two and see what happens here. Put a dot right there. All right, so there's your two opportunities, guys. So either you want the safe entry, which, like I said, this one I'd give you 90% that this is gonna hit. This entry is gonna hit. Now here, you're looking at a 50-50. All right, you're looking at a 50-50, right? You're asking the market to fill up this 2 hour imbalance here and to actually go a little bit lower. So that's the main reason why I'm looking at this, and I see this as probably the best entry here, is because even if the market comes down and fill this imbalance, you're asking the market to go even lower past the imbalance. You know, sometimes the market will come into the imbalance or the fair value, whatever you want to call it, right, inefficiency, and we will trade and take off from that area. Sometimes we'll come lower and do that. We don't know, right? But if I want the safest entry here, guys, I'm gonna go for that 4 hour, honestly. We already have the break structure. It's 15-minute. I would love a nice just candle that just closes above here. We already have the change of character right here after we took out all of that. Boom. I have a change of character, which allows us reversal opportunities, so that's why we can look for buys again. The same thing that we did here, guys, where we had the change of character of this low, right? This is CPI, this is PPI here, and you can see we have a nice accumulation here. So this is an accumulation with PPI support, push up. We can see that mitigation, so we know that there was buyers here. So that's why when we do break this low and we have a change of character, we can automatically start looking for sales, because we know buyers got invalidated, sellers are going to be stronger. So usually the first setup after that change of character is like super high probability. So that's why this trade here was taken. And then this is what we're going to look for here. Honestly, I would just set a limit order right now. We did break the high already. I just would love to see a nice bullish candle above here. Either way, we did break it, but you know, it's just me being picky. 4 hours about to close in like 13 minutes. I'll come back to that. I'll come right back to this, guys, and we'll talk about this. Let's go back to EU. So EU closed very, very nicely. Very, very nicely. So yeah, that's going to be a limit order. I'm going to sit here and we're going to leave that limit order there on EU. GU is about to come lower. Hopefully it does. We're about to confirm. So GU, I'm going to have a limit order on GU as well. So we're going to keep that here potentially for a limit order. And then UCHF, keep that there. Let's go to UJ. UJ, I don't see anything yet on UJ, but what I will say is we have invalidated the order flow, and I love that. Now, this is going to be a decisional point of interest, and basically, you're going to wait for confirmation entries inside of here, guys. Do not take a limit order from here, okay? So, like I said, UJ looks pretty nice. We took out that order flow here, so now we can start looking for bullish setups, and that's going to be your first area there. After that, really don't have anything. I would have loved this area to actually give us a nice manipulation, but we did not do that. We do have the impulse and everything else, but we just don't have that clear manipulation that we like to see. So that's why it's not a limit order, and that's why we're just going to be waiting for confirmation entries inside of there. All right, that's GJ. I mean, that's UJ, and yeah, this market, it looks pretty nice. Time for us to start going back higher and maybe to get back into this. Okay, that'd be the next area I would target for a long-term target. Let's go to gold. So gold here, I was looking for sales today on gold. We didn't make it back to the area I was looking at. You guys can see this is kind of where I was looking to take that sell at right here. We do have a small imbalance there as well, seeing if we can make our way there. Looks like we're not going to make our way there. We're probably just going to continue pushing lower for the rest of the day, which is okay, and that's fine. But as you guys can see, gold on a higher time frame, we are pulling back. This is clear as day, guys. We have a nice manipulation here. My bad, that's a manipulation. I mean, we have a nice distribution here, guys. Clear as day. All right, so we do have an introduction of sellers. Now, I do understand that this will take us lower for a little bit more, at least back to the 3,000, which is why I'm looking for those sells. And then we do have liquidity here. So honestly, guys, I would hope this takes us lower past 3,000 underneath this liquidity to actually come and fill that imbalance and come back into some of our demand zones where we could look to buy this market. Okay, because right now, this is not the best area to buy, especially here since we have the liquidity underneath those lows. So I would look for sell opportunities, guys. And also we can see that momentum is in market cycle. Momentum and market cycle is starting to shift towards the sellers too. Look at this impulsive movement to the downside. Look at all this imbalance. Today we came and filled all of that imbalance, and look how we filled that imbalance as well. Asian highs manipulated today, and since then we see this market has gone lower. So if we do get this pullback into here, we expect that and to continue going lower. Okay, honestly, it would be actually better if we just drop to the downside, and then if we get the pullback, this will be a higher probability trade since we have an external break. All right, so as the market is pulling back, and if we come back into here, to be honest, I'm not going to be looking for anything during Asian session in here. I'd most likely wait at least until London opens before you start looking for those potential sales inside of there. Okay, if we pull back. GJ has been actually really nice with its structure as well. You guys can see we have nice order flow towards the upside right now, and we just came into this reaccumulation. Too bad I didn't see the price action on GJ until like after, so did not get a chance to set a limit order here. We already tapped in, and I don't take second mitigation, so I wasn't gonna take this same area twice. This would have been the entry here, that first mitigation, but it looks really nice. I was Also looking for any confirmation entries. You guys can see this market didn't give any confirmation entries. And that's the reason why, guys, I was buying GJ on Thursday. Okay. We kind of got stopped out, unfortunately, on that potential reaccumulation. Looking at it in hindsight, it wasn't the best, I would say, reaccumulation. I knew it was, not the best high probability. I knew this was the highest probability trade. But since we already mitigated here, and you can kind of see we already gave that impulse, we already took out breaking highs and everything like that. So I assume that we're going to continue reaccumulating towards the upside. So once we've seen that lower time from reaccumulation, that's why I was taking that entry there. But we can see the market actually came back lower, mitigated the same demand zone, and now we are pushing higher. We honestly did not give any entries down here. So London session was going to be where you could have taken something today, maybe a mitigation of this, I don't know, to take this higher. But what I'm waiting for here on GJ is for us to just break this high. I already have the next area, you guys can see. I'll just be taking a trade off of this area here, which is actually the same as this move. You see we have the distribution at the top. We take out lows, mitigate the demand zone, and we have that push. And that's the same thing that happened here. We have the distribution at the top. We took out lows right there, and we got that push that invalidated the high. So all I need this area to do now is invalidate the high. Once we invalidate this high and we see this market start coming back, that'll be the area I'll look for buys. Or if we don't come back, I will look for reaccumulations, and I will just continue buying this market. So I'll continue looking for those manipulations lower and look for those continuations. Okay, so either way, we're just gonna be trying to buy GJ. Hopefully we can just come up here and take out this high for now. That's all we want GJ to do for now, is just go up there and take out those highs, so I can just set that limit order there and just forget about it. All right, now let's move on. Let's go to CAD-J. CAD-J, very, very huge impulsive move. We see that from this low that created this high. Once we broke that high here, we did trade back into 50%. So now we have from this high to this low, now to our next potential high. We have a nice accumulation here, which did get mitigated. Manipulated agent lows. See that move come down, mitigated, and we broke the high. Now, honestly, let's see what this area is looking like. We can delete this. Market already mitigated the opening of that candle here. That's why you see that line. Look at this doji. Pretty nice. Now, do we don't have any imbalance to target? Well, let's go on the weekly time frame. Nope. Okay. Thanks, CAD-J. Well, we're gonna have to create something. All right, let's go for this. Well, we're already here. Never mind. All right. Let's see. Okay, forget it then. I'll just look for an entry. We'll just look for a regular entry here then, without even targeting anything. Imbalance here. We filled that. That's a nice candle. This is honestly the candle that I see us reacting off of. So now it's how do we take a small stop loss within that area? So here we have a manipulation of Asian lows. Asian lows. We have a nice manipulation of Asian lows. We have the breaker structure. Let me delete that liquidity. We have an obvious breaker structure. As you guys can see, this is what I was waiting for here on USHEF. Let's see if USHEF gave that move real quick. No, we did not. Did the 4-hour close? No, it did not. Okay. Let me see. DXY. EU might push back a lot deeper into here. GU, okay, GU, and then USHEF. Okay. Well, no, we're gonna keep that. I might take just the 50% here, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm okay with that entry at the 50 now. Coming back, so we'll come back early. Where are we on? We're on CAJ. We're gonna go back to CAJ. Give me 1 second. Let me just do a quick scan. We're gonna talk about GCAD in a second. ACAD. Okay, and then AJ here. All right. So yeah, CAJ is gonna be the one we're gonna look at. CAJ and potentially GJ. So FGU has not formed that yet. EU. Okay. Don't take this yet, guys. Do not take this yet. Take this yet. This thing. Look at this daily candle. 4 hours. 4-hour candles closing in about 3 minutes. Well, by the time I upload this might be a different price action. Well, this is gonna be uploaded today, so we don't know. We'll see. Anyways, we'll get back to UCHEF. I don't have any limit order here yet on UCHEF, guys, but this is the 2 areas I'm potentially looking at. All right. Confirmed limit orders so far are on EU, GU, not yet until we break that low. I'll keep that there until we actually break it. And then once GJ do that. So we're talking about CAJ right now, and I think CAJ also want to set us something here as well. We'll look at this daily. Nice doji there. Let's look at that 4-hour candle again. Honestly, this looks like this is where it's at. This 4-hour just clear 4-hour candle. Now, I know that's going to be a crazy stop loss, so we're going to have to kind of slim that down and see what we can get. Because that's like 80. And we don't really have something major to target here. We could go for a simple 1 to 3, but that's what we're going to go for. But I do just want something like a smaller stop here. I think we can get in here. I need to look to see if we can have any imbalance. We do. Okay. It's a good sign. Okay. We have a little 1-hour imbalance. We have 2-hour imbalance here as well. Okay, that's a great sign actually. Inside of this, underneath this candle, let's see what the 50% of this looks like. %50 matches exactly with the imbalance. All right, well, there goes the entry. So we're gonna take the 50% of this whole area. Yep. And it's going to be right above the imbalance. It's a way better entry. I know it's like 50 pips, but that's a way better entry. And then the high would be our target. Okay, so pretty nice right there. That'd be the entry. This is already confirmed, guys. So I would just set a limit order here. Oop. Record structure. Now it's just patience. So let me go ahead and just put this in so I don't forget it. So we have GCAD. We have CAD-J. UCHEF. What are you looking like? 4-hour closed. GJ. Okay, yeah, look at GJ. Look at GJ. Okay. We might be set for this week, guys. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's only Monday. So on top of that, I'm also going to be looking for like continuation plays this week as well. We'll talk about it more during the live call. Set an alert right there. And this is pretty much it, guys. This is how I'm simplifying my trading. Is just by taking larger intraday areas like this, and following the same rules, of course, using the same accumulations and the distribution schematics, looking for overall directional bias, and just letting the markets move, letting the markets do the things. So it's just gonna take patience at this point, guys. Really, it's just gonna take patience. So time is gonna pass anyways, so there's no point in rushing the markets. And also, with me trading, like looking at these larger plays as well, I do have like a so I split myself into two type of traders. For those of you in the Discord that know, I think only me and U5 have kind of talked about that idea right there. Splitting yourself into two different traders. So basically, on my larger accounts, the challenge accounts, or any like funded accounts, stuff like that, I will be trading more higher probability trades like this, intraday trading. But when I get to like smaller accounts, or even sometimes I'll start like small live account challenges where I'll just go and scalp. And that's what I'm mainly doing on indices, because I don't like trading indices. I don't like trading indices on the higher time frame because they usually just never come back. They usually just never come back. The moves for indices are usually like on the lower time frame, honestly. The larger moves, you usually don't get the mitigation you're looking for because they're so impulsive. Like the price action is so fast. So I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's perfect for scalpers. If you're a scalper, it's perfect for you. I don't know what's going on with my broker right now. It's not showing this price action. Come on, Trade Locker. I don't know if it's Trade Locker or if it's the broker. I don't know what's going on. It's like just a huge gap for some reason. Don't know why. Yeah, that's pretty weird, but they'll fix it. So yeah, simply just a 50% of that whole area, guys. I'm just placing that limit order right now. If we come back, we come back. If we don't, we don't. We'll look for the next trade. All right, but I am placing that order right now because sometimes I will instead of waiting for the market to come down here, sometimes I will completely forget about the limit order and forget to set it, and then news or something will happen and the market would just spike lower down here and then to take off, right? You just never know when the market's going to come down here. And that's one thing, guys, you always have to remember, the markets can do whatever they want. Okay, always remember that anything could happen in this market, right? So what does that mean? This trade could possibly activate tomorrow. We don't know. Okay, we have no control over that. Over time, statistically, is that something we're looking for? Is that something that we could expect? Most of the time, no, because we know that usually it's going to take maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days for the market to actually move down here, especially with it being euro pairs. I mean, not euro pairs, it's for being just pairs in general, but you just never know. So always keep that in mind. Anything can happen in this market. So just always make sure you have that mindset and you know that. Okay. I think as traders and as we analyze these markets, we're always putting scenarios on the charts, right? We're always seeing the charts from our eyes and putting our own bias, and putting our own expectations on the charts. And simply put, we just can't do that because anything can happen, right? This market is unpredictable, so we don't know what's going to happen. And I've missed a lot of trades because I thought it's going to take a while for the market to come back, or market probably will never come back, and the market ends up coming back every single time. So let's set that order there. All right, boom. All right, limit order set. Limit order on GCAD. I think GCAD is the next one. So ACAD has not confirmed anything for us yet, guys. Well, we have confirmed this high. We know this is the low, but we haven't confirmed the new high yet, which actually is a good thing. If we can find some market cycle in here, maybe we could trade it, but there's nothing clear inside of here, guys. I wouldn't look for anything yet, but I do expect AJ to kind of take up, right? Go higher, take out all of this liquidity right here. All right, ACAD, nothing yet for me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete these because these are not really relevant right now. This is only the relevant price action we need to pay attention to is the break of here. We have our change of character. Now, you guys know as soon as we get our change of character, we're looking for the potential sell opportunities, and we simply just don't have it. Simply just don't have it, guys. Now, I was kind of tempted this morning. Have a very nice distribution. It's a type 2 right here earlier this morning here, but just these highs are just these highs. That liquidity is just no, right? So we're gonna wait for an actual better setup to form here, especially since we do have imbalance. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We have imbalance right above this area that we could come and easily fill. Okay, so let's just be responsible. All right, let's be responsible traders. Last but not least, GCAD. This is the limit order that's already activated here. Like I already covered it earlier, so pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. I'm gonna be holding this trade. Don't worry about the stop loss, guys. Just imagine you did not see that. All right. Yeah. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Pretty nice day. Okay, Yusef. Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna take this. All right, so I'm gonna keep this out here. We're not going to take this. Since this market is still here inside of this, we're gonna wait till tomorrow. I want to wait till tomorrow. I want to see what happens. Honestly, if you guys are going to take a limit order in here, do not take this one. I would honestly take this limit order here just because that wick right there on the 1 hour, go to the 15-minute. You can see we have just wicks above here. So that's why I don't want to take this first area here. Unless, let's say this doesn't activate, or let's say this does activate. Let's say this does activate. Let's say the price just taps here and then we go back up higher. Tomorrow, I will still take a limit order here, guys. Trust me. Because on the higher time frame, that's not going to mean anything to the higher time frame. Okay. It's when you go on the higher time frame, that's not the main mitigation, guys. Okay. That's not going to be the main mitigation. So I just need us to have a actual break above here. So as long as, let's say the market just sits here, I'm not going to take this limit order today. Like I said, as long as the market just sits here and let's say we break up, tomorrow we come back, I will take this. But what I can see happening is we can get a very a deep retracement back into here towards the 50%. And this is why I still have that here, because if this market just continues here, I can see that movement down here. And then tomorrow, what I would look for is I would look for an accumulation here. And once we see that accumulation, I'll just set my stop loss at this low. All right. That's going to be the trade that I'm going to be more willing to take. Okay. That's what I'm going to be willing to take. So if we just don't come back up here. I just need to see a closure, at least on the 15-minute. We just need just a bullish closure, something that tells me, okay, this market actually wants to go higher. I don't want to see a 5-minute candle up here. Barely a 5-minute candle. But how bullish is DXY? Let's see. How bullish is DXY? I know this is going to be a long video. It's like 50 minutes. All right, let me stop. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Be careful on U-Shift. I'm not taking a limit order on it. Not at the moment. Not right now. I will update you guys in the Discord. Make sure you're in the Discord, and I will update you guys about that one. All right, so peace out, guys. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one.